This is actually one of the more disturbing features, because what the investigation of the Integrity Commission has revealed is that funds were used from a charity. It's called Positive Foundation, Positive Jamaica Foundation, a charity which, by definition, would have charitable purposes. And some funds in the region of approximately $32,000 US dollars were diverted to pay for a bond in the name of Mr. Honus.
Or his company, his personal company.
And I believe at some point it may have been either in his or his personal holding company, which he owns 100%. And it remained in that form for the life of the bond until it was called. And it was only after the bond had been redeemed and that transaction was now, in a sense, extinct.
Is it reasonable?
Closed. That, just allow me to finish, that upon questioning by the Director of Investigation, that an attempt was made to repay that charitable foundation. So approximately 4 years had elapsed when the funds from the charitable foundation had been used to partially pay for a bond in the name of or for the benefit of Mr. Honus.
And the interest payments on the bond went into him or his personal company's account. And it's only when the Integrity Commission itself looked into this thing and said, hey, but some of the funding for this, $32,000 US of the $94,000 US cost of the bond, came from a charity with which Mr. Honus is very closely associated and is a director. That the necessary rearrangements of the thing were done and the money was returned to the charity. So for several years, he declared that bond as being his or his company's, and he received the payments under that bond.
So there are two separate investigations that emanated from the Prime Minister's statutory declarations. I want you to discuss that first and tell us what were those two separate investigations. One relates to the omission of information for which the Director of Corruption Prosecution ruled, and then the second investigation was around illicit enrichment.
Well, I would say on the 4 accounts, there were 2 related to his parents put his name on, one with a former constituency manager and another one. Now, it is important to look at the detail. The Director of Investigation said he brought to Mr. Honus' attention on 3 occasions that his name was in fact on the accounts. And in spite of that, Mr. Honus did not declare those as part of his declaration. Secondly, and even more importantly, the Director of Investigation found that in 2 of those accounts, monies were flowing through the accounts from accounts solely controlled by Mr. Honus and 2 accounts solely controlled by Mr. Honus. So in essence, he's saying Mr. Honus said he knew nothing about these accounts, but funds are flowing in the region of millions of dollars. Deposits put in today, taken out the following week. 2 accounts controlled solely by him. So the question is, was Mr. Honus being truthful when he said, well, it's my parents' account and I don't know anything about it?
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives.
We don't feel comfortable sitting in Parliament with a Minister of Government who was openly accepted responsibility, who expresses no regret for the act, where a commission of parliament has confirmed that the act is corrupt and has referred it for prosecution. And that minister shows no sign of wanting to resign, or the prime minister showing no signs of moving to dismiss the minister.
With all the sympathy that one can have for support, this is embarrassing, not only to the government as a party, not only the PNP, but to the government, to Jamaica, to all of us. Our heads bow this morning with this sort of reaction to it.
So we have to take firm actions in this regard. It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agree that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government.
I don't want you to come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want labor rights carry that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.
Wagwan family, matters of respect. The church, aiders and abettor of this brother of corruption, finally wake up. And guess what happened? The Liberator beat the church. Wow. Guys, remember where one prayer, you know? There's a prayer up here with Andrew Owens, but now play it today. Inside the church, them give Andrew Owens the bully pulpit in the church to pray some prayer where somebody write game, where never read him script properly. We all know the church is very friendly to the Liberal Party. They will even allow them to come into the church, come tell lie. People, watch this.
The government, because the economy is growing, the government is now giving young people who are registered in heart approximately $150 each month to help them with the bus fare and help them with the lunch money. So nobody has any excuse not to go to school to learn a skill, because you're getting help with the bus fare and help with the lunch money as well. If that is not transformational, I don't know what is. So if that is not transformational, I don't know what is.
So, what may I say now? Church, wake up. See there? Church, I come out. Like church, I turn against such man. Look at people. Look how long we on social media about where the church there. Some more agreements signed. Sell out, look you them behind. And the church stay quiet. Why are you going to take the church to come out? Why it gonna take for the church to come out? Look what blogger out here talk. But why the church come out at this point in time? Like the church, I'm here about the money, man. Church, me not trust you no. Uno benefit from slavery too. Uno are the biggest backer of corruption in Jamaica. Uno. Make such man come all while around in the church, have all type of prayer breakfast. When they come out, that's why we see in a picture with crooked politician. Church, you should be ashamed on yourself. So them money them smell and then finally I come out. Church, you think me glad for all this? Eh? You think a little things happen in Jamaica, and if I never win blogger, bring it to the people and nobody hear about it. Who not stand up for nothing. See, just the other day, PSOJ, I tell we say, the PSOJ president tell we say PSOJ members are involving in active crime. I repeat, active crime. The PSOJ president told us that. Them can't take it no more. Or the money don't know about church. Only about the money. So I'm going to read what the church say. So based on what the church has said, them support the investigation. The church want the investigation to continue. They don't want such man to cut them short. The church want the investigation to go on. The church benefit from slavery, people. The church, you see, they here. Now be to no still, but when you sit down there and watch such man do something to the country or some more agreements signed. Not one of them come say a thing. Things they've been preaching about are against all these decades. Like money make them start read some other part of the Bible and glow up certain page of the Bible. Them not going it again. Big up the real pastor them at Jamaica. We have burned the fire. The few of know ourselves. So churches call for patience, due process in integrity commission matter involving owners. When those people come out, when the church what they say now. Remember, I just did that day. Jamaica Council of Churches side with Andrew Onis with the Constitution. Remember? I do a video upon that. When they agree with everything in the Constitution and signed off on it, and was kind of pissed at the PNP for walking away from the table. Who remember that? The church. The church, the Council of Church, they're willing to take it back for the plantation, Remember, them benefit from it already, So the other day, them go sign off on this new Constitution. Was kind of angry based on my understanding that I'm reading. Kind of angry at the PNP and everybody who don't support this fake-ass Constitution reform that I think they had tried to tailor the Constitution to fit snugly around a criminal. So the church was mad at everybody that we didn't jump on board with them. The Council of Churches. However, see them come out here again. See what I say? The Jamaica Council of Churches, JCC, is advising against the politicization of the Integrity Commission IC investigation report on yet to be certified statutory declaration of Prime Minister Andrew Onis. Since the report was tabled in Parliament on September 17, there has been a back and forth between the opposition People's National Party and the governing Jamaica Labour Party, with each side accusing the other of playing politics. After more than a year, the IC has been unable to clear the Prime Minister of illicit enrichment because it has been unable to untangle the business dealings of several companies owned or partly owned by him, Chapa Janina. It has referred to its near 200-page report to Tax Administration Jamaica and the Financial Investigations Division with a view to bring closure to the matter. However, the PNP has repeatedly called for the resignation of the Prime Minister, insisting that he misled the country about when he was made aware by the IC that he was being investigated for illicit enrichment. Onis has countered by moving to sue several members of the PNP. Remember, Onis can't argue none of this, If can't argue, say money come out of FEMA account and going in mother and father account, going back in a FEMA account. If can't argue none of this. If can't argue out and go almost 4 years now. And the Prime Minister of the country statutory declaration cannot be certified. If can't argue none of that, in the scholar can look up at me. Because so Mr. Onis, this will look good. Wow. So Onis has countered by moving to sue several members of the PNP, while Parliamentary Caucus of the JLP has thrown its full support behind the Prime Minister. amid the crosstalk, the JCC, Jamaica Council of Churches, is urging caution, calling for patience, and the allowance of due process in the matter. We strongly encourage the closure of the legal locani, which is a legal space, that may have been identified as soon as possible. The Umbrella Church Group said in a statement Wednesday morning. The statement over the signatures, JCC President Bishop, the Reverend Christine Gooden Bengucci, and said politicization of the matter must be avoided. People, if you go up on social media, that thing say the church and the prime minister are enemy. Remember, you know, at them cover him dirty, you know. Remember, you know, at the first time I come out, them not come out for nothing, you know. Some more agreement signed, and the church forgot to read about that part in the Bible. Some more agreement signed, and the church totally forget about that part of the Bible. But the church will come out now when they hear about chiching. I guess money will make anybody come out. Church, and money bringing out. People want me to see the liberator beat them bad. The liberator beat them bad when them does to say, this a brother and his wife in that church, and I pray. Church are the best friend. But the church, I say, the right thing. Allow the investigation to go on. You don't want a cloud of suspicion over this brother hanging all his life. Because people are going to wonder. This won't go away. This needs to be investigated. Nobody want no cloud of suspicion to hang over them. Nobody. To this end, it is important that the process recommended by the IC be allowed to run its course, she said, adding that in a view of the inconclusive nature of the report, it is advisable that the partisan political interpretations and applications of report are avoided until clarity is achieved. Yesterday, some politician, liberal politician in parliament, while they didn't understand the report, deliberately confusing the people them. Me agree with the church also, even though they don't come out for nothing. The youth them body sign off and now the church will come out on it. Some more agreement. But when they hear about the money now, money make anybody come out, man. So, you look at the church, I take time turn from this a corrupt leader, yeah, man. You look at the church, I take time turn from them crooked ways. You know, I mean, I'm not saying. Normally the church I just sit down quiet and don't say nothing. Like the Samoa agreement, the church allowed the youth them to be sold for such man benefit. Or they pocket. And never say nothing. And the church will come out now. Like everybody I find out such man. PSOJ, I tell we now say. So many people is under investigation. We understand me? People, wow, this look bad. May I go to a short break? I'll be right back.
I hear man talk a kind of lie. Oh, 20 million and 28 million. Lie. Me not take no salary increase. So my salary is what it was before. And I tell you something, I feel like just keep back to. Because he's a proud man, you know. Me don't like people tell lie for me. I don't want you to come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and he's a prime minister around the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want labor rights carry that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.
Family church, wake up finally. According to Gooden Bengucci, the Jamaica Council of Churches affirms the value of respectful, honest, and robust national conversation that seeks to promote the nation's well-being and encourages the principles of integrity, accountability, transparency by those who hold public office. Church, you can't call those and Andrew Honest name in the same line, you know. What you're looking for, all of these, you won't find them in this leader church. Integrity, you know, encourage the principles of integrity, in accountability and transparency. Church, come on, no. But I'm glad now come out. But no, finally, the church back this man for everything. And the one thing when the church come out and stand up and say, make the investigation continue to free the boss. The only thing I free Andrew own is a good investigation. Let the investigation continue. Me not wrong with the church. Me not wrong them for that. Additionally, the Jamaica Council of Churches unequivocally asserts that this is not the time to contemplate changes to the Integrity Commission Act. You hear that? The church don't want Andrew Honest mash up the Integrity Commission Act. And that the church I say. And this is a weasel right here. Church don't want them touch up nothing. Church don't want such man try to shelter himself from what is to come. The church tired of you now. Look how long the church are back your corruption. Not even the youth them the church will protect. Some more agreement signed and the youth them body. Warm to it. Ships soon start come to Jamaica with them people that come look out and sort out the local youth there. Such man, everything bad for Jamaica. Legalize Obia. Sell out the youth them body. Everything bad. And that this man I promote. That's why the country stays up. The brothers are very evil. Brother. My God. Sure. Leave it alone. That the church has said. Leave it alone. Additionally, Jamaica Council of Church unequivocally assert that this is not the time to contemplate changes to the Integrity Commission Act. Leave it alone. That the church I tell you. Leave it alone, such man. The church say corrupt. What's that church here about money? And you know, say I jinx them for the goddamn offerings in the church and the tithes. If you now come clean with the finances, you lie to the church where you go. More tithes and offering, and you are Jesus, boy. Think where you that, boy? Yeah? You all lie to the church and the tithes and offering. It's not the 10% when the church taught. The church never knows say you have 28 accounts. Every Sunday I go to church, goes squinge up in it and go like say this you have. No, the church I hear say you rob from God. Can a man rob from God? Why? Just like the man them at Tivoli and West Kingston. Just like your people in the constituency, they might ask him more money. All the people in the constituency used to tell Sinana money is because they never know say have 28 accounts. You hear? All them bad man we all about the way I tell say, yo, me now know the spiritual election, me do something for you. Man, I tell you if you go suck your salt. I tell you right now. Big and serious. The church find out say, you cut the offering short. You wasn't coming clean by the offering and the tithes. Tithes is supposed to be 10%, my brother. Me see you pray the other day. When we pray, you are the wife up there. Eh? And I con the church them. The church realized he was lying to them at the church. What? People, nobody saw this one. Brother, you can't go to church. I'm going to tell us I want to account you have. Our church go yes at 28. Church don't say I cut them short. People, your tithe is supposed to be 10%. So you can't imagine this man writing, take this, I must write, honey, you signed a check for the church yet? 10%? Yes, baby. 10% in the dot. Send a check with Sister Rosemary. Go give Pastor Smith. I won't be coming to church this Sunday. I'm too tired. All right, baby. 10%. Yes. Make sure it's on 10% because I don't want God to be mad at me. People. Pastor. The church must come out. The church must blast your backside. You've been coming to church, hanging out around these pastors. Prayer breakfast. You're Mark Golden go to this prayer breakfast too, you know. Don't forget. That Mark Golden have followed you are joining for this prayer breakfast, brother. And all of these pastors from the churches, thinking, said man looking at the eye of an honest man, a man of integrity and class and dignity. They never know, said man looking at the eye of a cat. The church start. You're right, this tithes and offering. You cannot give an offering before you give your tithes. Work out your tithes first before you give an offering. Your tithe is supposed to be 10%. Offering can be anything. Can be 100%. But make sure you make it right with the Lord first. You give the 10%. So the whole time we look at one account where you pass a bank and say your prime minister account. Pastor in a church begs with you when you say you're going to collect your salary. Pastor don't like that. Because pastor say, just as you get the pay raise, so your salary go up, so the church could get more tithes and offering from you. You're going to jump up and talk about, you know, on your salary, you never take none and all them things there. You know, pastor call you after you come out of parliament that day because that was a stupid idea, says the pastor. Because church always want more money for the building fund. Church can't start building from my local picnic till now. So, people, the church begs. Church begs my your money a call. When man say, boy, in 10%, me I give pastor me 10% every day. Me a honest man and my wife too. My wife too. Yes, pastor. We are give you 10% off. Yes, pastor. This is it. This is all the wealth we have, pastor. Go down for me. Pray for me, pastor. Like how them pray for me in a school the other day. And I pick with the picnic them and watch and just laugh after me. Pick them around that class and roll over their eyes. So look how the prime minister look beaten and weak. In that school prayer. When they see a man that we are going to look prayer from, they hide the money from them. Then they must expect them come out on paper. Because if you leave the goddamn integrity commission alone, so they can find where I hide the goddamn money. I see what's thinking of people. But look pretty good. You ask forgiveness and you repent in a church. And the same man that will give the mic and the pulpit in a church. The same man that will big you up and I build you up and try help you look vote. Them look a pastor there. The whole time you was a real to the pastor them. How about this? Brother, you never like in the church to 10%. Why? The church must come out. How do you? You don't think church need money too? You don't lie to the pastor like that? There are going to be consequences around here. Oh, boy. So the church is asking for Andrew Otis, since they never bring the goddamn, you lie to them about your money. Leave the goddamn report, the investigation alone. That's what them say. Leave it alone. Can you lie to them? Me know if that share the loot, the church will come out. We assert the importance of the IC as an important instrument of national development and its role in enhancing the perception, credibility, and reputation of the country within international community. Our church attack, so you know. The church look like them peace. Our church attack, so me say labor them mad. We go up on social media, be like the church again. Me talk about the church have been covering this brother for how long? The one little time the church stand up for Jamaica and not standing up for politics. The Jamaica people are across the church. We can read this line again. We assert the importance of the IC Integrity Commission, that is, as an important instrument of national development and its role in enhancing the perception, credibility, and reputation of the country within the international community. Therefore, the Jamaica Council of Churches encourages the nation to patiently await the completion of the current process. Gooden Ben Gucci concluded. Good Ben Gucci. You see it? And Hold on, people. Sister, I'll call her right back. I'm on a live right now, okay? In the middle of a live, eh? Bless up. People, I just want to send a shout out to Patricia Matthews. You know, so we haven't been seeing Patricia Matthews around here. Make us send some love to her now and prayer out. Patricia Matthews is not doing well. I just want to send some love out there. You know, the element. Yeah, I want everybody, you know, say a good word for Patricia Matthews. She's not feeling well, people. When I say she not do well, she not do well. I mean, I like what I hear. You know, so she a faithful soldier on this page. You know that. On this page she is. So we could send up some prayer for Patricia Matthews. Just know upon this platform, Jamaican Carlos love you. And the rest of family members love your sister. Stay up. You see me? All right. So people, now you see the church come out against such man. Because him take the money and give pastor. You can't tell pastor say, at this you have every Sunday. Correct? Then now the church I look on there and say, I gotta expose you. You know? Somewhere in Jamaica, some pastor say, I gotta expose you. Because you should have, not even the church, you're not honest with the church. You're not honest with the taxman. You're not honest with the integrity commission. Are you honest with the wife? I mean, as I ask, we're not honest to the people of Jamaica. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, the hell on, man. Why, people, this church people, yeah. It's on the church people. Pope Francis took the unusual decision Wednesday to expel 10 people, a bishop, priest, and lay people from a troubled Catholic movement in Peru after a Vatican investigation uncovered sadistic abuse of power, authority, and spirituality. And what the Pope go see, Lord, you see in the church, and nothing going to cover. And nothing going to cover in a churchy. So the one time the church them come out, they don't come out for the youth them, the summer agreement. The church quiet behind that. When the church they hear about the money church that come out, you can't go and keep on coming out. So this is another case about the church. I'm going to see pop up in the news. Pope expels a bishop and 9 other people from a Peru movement over sadistic abuses. I wonder Pope Francis see when now get. Because the whole of them must have, you know, big up on yourself if you're not Catholic on the page, yeah. But when I know the priest just walk around and frack all day so to cover him hard and you know, man like me and everybody, you get up a man time, you're stiff like Mount Everest. You know, if you wear frack to cover that, man, if you wear pants, everybody now go stiff. Now me see why them wear frack. Anyway, let me keep moving. Vatican City. Pope Francis took the unusual decision Wednesday to expel 10 people, a bishop, priest, and lay people from a troubled Catholic movement in Peru after a Vatican investigation uncovered sadistic abuse of power, authority, and spirituality. Let's see what the church is up to over Peru. The move against the leadership of Sadalitium, Christiane, Vitae, are Sadalitium of Christian life. I want to clear this. So this is another branch of the church. Just like in California and San Francisco, you know, gay people have their own church, you know. Yeah, man, they have their church. Every Sunday morning, church full of the people, they might come support. Everybody can, you know. Yeah, so this is a Sodomite Christian church, Sodom Christian Life Church. Followed Francis' decision last month to expel the group's founder, Luis Figari, after he was found to have sodomized his recruit, Mr. Figari. The decision was announced by the Peruvian Bishop Conference, which posted a statement from the Vatican Embassy on its website. The statement was astonishing because it listed the abuses uncovered by the Vatican investigation that have rarely been punished canonically with such measures and the people responsible. According to the statement, the Vatican investigators uncovered physical abuses, including with sadism and violence, sect-like abuses of conscience, spirituality, abuse of authority, economic abuse in administering church money, and the abuse in exercise of the apostolate of journalism. The latter was presumably aimed at Sadalitium-linked journalist who attacked critics of the movement on social media. Figari founded the movement in 1971 as a lay community to recruit soldiers for God, one of several Catholic societies born as a conservative reaction to the left-leaning liberation theology movement that swept through Latin America starting in the 1960s. At its height, the group counted about 20,000 members across South America and the United States. It was enormously influential in Peru. When they find, man, come on, Chuck, take too long to find out. Victims of Figari's abuse complained to the Lima Archdiocese in 2011, though other claims against him reported dated to 2000, but neither the local church nor the Holy See to concrete action until one of the victims, Pedro Salinas, wrote a book along with journalist Paola Ugas, detailing the twisted practices of Sadolitium in 2015, entitled Half Monks, Half Soldiers. That's the name of the book, people. An outside investigation ordered by Sadolitium determined that Figari was narcissistic, paranoid, demeaning, vulgar, vindictive, manipulative, racist, sexist, elitist, and obsessed with sexual issues and the sexual orientation of Sadolitium's member. The investigation, published in 2017, found that Figari sodomized his recruits and forced them to fondle him, what? And one another. He liked to watch them. Did this, what is? At the Catholic Church, did this, a Catholic did it. He liked to watch them experience pain, discomfort, and fear, and humiliated them in front of others to enhance his control over them, the report found. Wow. Still, the Holy See declined to expel Figari from the movement in 2017 and merely ordered him to live apart from the Sadolitium community. I want to believe someone to go hide. And what is going? Eh? Just go and let's go live, man, but at night time you can't come. Eh? So them just ordered him to live apart from the Sadolitium community in Rome and seize all contact with it. Rome in Europe. The European Union give Jamaica money to sign the Samoa Agreement. The European Union give Jamaica money to sign the Samoa Agreement. The Vatican was seemingly tied in knots by the canon law that did not foresee such punishment for founders of religious communities who weren't priests. But according to the findings of the latest Vatican investigation, the abuses went beyond Figari and included harassing and hacking the communications of their victims, all the while covering up crimes committed as part of their official duties. The highest-ranking person ordered expelled was Archbishop Jose Antonio Ugarin, whom Francis already forced to resign as Bishop of the Peru in April over his record after he sued Salinas and Ugas for their reporting. Then boss him. The Vatican, in its statement, said the Peruvian bishop joined Pope Francis in seeking the forgiveness of the victim while calling on the troubled movement to initiate a journey of justice and reparation. You see, the church always accept forgiveness. God forgive you. God forgive you, God forgive you. So with the Christians, them can steal, kill, and destroy 6 days a week. Just show up at church on day 7th and ask God to forgive you. And you will be cleansed of your sins. Kind of sound like the prayer Andrew I preach. And we repent. We never hear a prayer like that before. However, what may I say? The church, because a long time the Catholic Church are going so, you know. The church is responsible for a lot of things happen to black people. Just like when them stand aside and watch what go on in Jamaica. And just as they hear about the money, they might come out. No integrity, people in Jamaica. Politicians have no integrity. They might try to hurt the Integrity Commission. And it's not going to work about you. Corruption will come out. Jamaica people, as I said again like before, the Integrity Commission is for us. Not politicians. No PNP or Labour right want to hear about the report. Remember when Dwayne Vaz come out the other day, in the mad, everybody mad out. Bunting also had investigation done on him. He wasn't pleased. Yeah. So Jamaica have an integrity crisis. May I tell Jamaica have an integrity crisis, and from what I'm reporting right now is that these labor right, they don't want to stand down. So the church see what I go and say the country I got hell in the handbag, and the church want to hell with them. So the church, you know, we're gonna read more stuff as the day go on, because this a boil up people, and the news media in Jamaica want us to forget about this corrupt leader named Andrew Onis, and we not forget. No, we not forget about you, brother. The news media in Jamaica look them pass and gone to other things. When you have leeches and suck out the life out of Jamaica. Man with 28 account still call himself Prime Minister. Moving money through your peers' account. Act like say we no must see what I go on. Act like say we must see what I go on, people. Let me tell you something. Because them boy go like say, them buy Jamaica with we in it. No respect to the people of Jamaica, you know. May I tell you how them feel, man. Them feel say them buy Jamaica with we in it. You see the one Delroy fuck him. No, Delroy chuck him. You see him? Guys, remember last year, unrest is brewing in Hopewell High School. I'm going to listen to this. Hopewell High School. And we know the story already when man come to school for dirt, burst and blah, blah, blah. Hopewell High School on edge as principal returns to work. I would get rid of the principal. I mean, I don't want nothing for bring this man back to school. As students and staff safety over this brother here. Western Bureau. Unrest is brewing at Hopewell High in Hanover as many teachers and students have seemingly abandoned the institution since the return of Principal Byron Grant last Friday. Grant had been absent from the school since the December 2023 murder of the bursar, Jermaine Roberts. Roberts was shot dead just outside the school gate by gunmen who appeared to be waiting for him. At the time of the shooting, Grant was inside the school and reportedly ran into a glass door, sustaining serious injuries that required hospitalization. Since then, he had been on a long period of leave until his return last Friday. On the day of his return, several teachers and students were not in attendance at the school. Nah, boy. When the Gleaner visited the institution to speak with the principal and look into the situation on Monday, our reporter was denied entry. However, the Gleaner returned later. The Gleaner learned later that only 17 out of 63 teachers had reported to work, leaving numerous classes unattended. Dalton Hastings, chairman of the school board, did not provide an explanation for the absence. The majority of the teachers did not come out to work for Friday. or today, Monday. But as a board, we can't do anything unless we have documented evidence. We cannot act on speculation as we are a responsible board, Hastings said. The bigger picture is for the school, and we must ensure that learning takes place in a conducive environment. Asked directly if grants return was connected to the absence of the teachers and students, Hastings declined to speculate. I would not want to go down that route, as I do not want to speculate that it was anything to do with his return. It would be irresponsible of me to say that. I cannot attribute anything to that, stating Hastings. Girl, I 3 times answer the same question, and the same answer you give 3 times. Shut up. Sorry. Who did not want to provide a telephone number for the principal? Me understand, say, nobody want dead. Me not wrong, you woman. Nobody want dead. However, several parents gathered outside the school entrance, blamed the unrest on grants return. They argued that both the school board and the Ministry of Education were aware of the brewing tension, but failed to address them. Anything to mash up Jamaica, man. May I tell you? This situation has been dragging on for months, and nothing has changed. The school needs proper leadership. We cannot continue to send our children into this environment. Wow. Jamaica mash up, you know. One frustrated parent told the Gleaner, decisions must be made by the ministry and the board, otherwise parents may choose to withdraw their children, leaving the school empty. Wow. We can't raise chicken tonight. Meanwhile, Anova Police Commander Superintendent Andrew Nish said the probe into Robert's murder remains open. When they never find who killed nobody in Jamaica, the investigation is still ongoing, but I cannot provide further details, he said. Yeah. What do you think I'm going to school the people? The principal pe galang make the youth then go learn here, man. Galang with the bag of self. Nobody's one about the dead body. So Jamaica go like man dead out of Jamaica quicker than bud. Galang where I go here, man. I want the backside I go on there. Then I hear another piece of story this morning to backside. Just as when the things say I get better, I get damn worse. Eh? Just as the thing it get better, it get worse. The PNP raises alarm over vacant leadership at Feed. People, there's nobody in a feed. How many times me come on my platform and tell you, as the son of a Rasta man, me can see things. Me no obey man, but me can see things. Me tell you, all of them the office where Andrew Onis put in them office. They man across Jamaica because they cannot function in a one little space like that. They are understaffed. You can't have so many offices in a one local building, Andrew Onis office. It can't work. So remember, I'm telling you, somebody's office, I think, has been reduced to a file cabinet. Some of these offices where Andrew Onis have in their office, they are not functioning for the people. Understaffed, reduced to a file cabinet. Office supposed to have office space and staff to function on behalf of the people. If leaders don't want to choke the country to death and stifle it to death, Andrew Onis is choking off and stifling off these offices in them office. I don't know why the Electoral Commission office in the same way and the PNP them so damn quiet. Them quiet, you know. Me not say no more about that topic. So the opposition People National Party has raised concern about the Executive Official of Financial Investigation Division (FID), which it says is currently without a chief technical director. What can go so? People, this is not the only office that is understaffed. I said it right here. All it take is common sense. Use a goddamn head. When one man take all his office, go on and wing. What kind of office can operate so? What kind of office can operate so? Where are the staff? What are going to be held at? This man have so many offices on them belt. Where are the staff? So now we need the staff to work. Fit now have nobody up there. Producer Wayne, Yes, it's a madness I want, brother. People who believe say this is okay. All these people, the first me tell upon this platform, several times I tell you before, that none of these offices in the man office can be able to function properly. You take offices that's supposed to have office space, government office, and you put it up for your office. Where are the staff going to be at? Where are the staff going to be at? And what Andrew is up with these business? Now that we see this Integrity Commission report, we are looking at him everywhere. Everywhere we are looking for your brother. Where are the staffs at? So some of these office, Jamaica, where the elder people are reduced to some file cabinet. Can't even find the goddamn file and document them. Some of these offices are reduced to a file cabinet. People, look if I lie me, I tell you so. The feed and them office, this is one of them, you know. And time come for the feed to work now. Come to find out the feed is understaffed. How many offices you have understaffed? There's no headman in a feed there. Look at Andrew Ones. The opposition people national party has raised concern about the executive office of the Financial Investigation Division, which it says it's currently without a chief technical director. Now, Andrew Ones is a chief technical director. Not him as the chief technical director. We are the staff for work for the people. This is like a criminal organization. This is not government. The concern comes amid a referral from the Integrity Commission, IC, of its investigative report into the statutory declaration of Prime Minister Andrew Ones to the feed for further probe. Senior members of the party, including opposition Mark Golding, raised the matter during the People's Parliament discussion they convened on Tuesday. Opposition Senator Bunting, in arguing that Andrew should step aside as the feed combs through the report, said failure to do this means that the Prime Minister remains in a position of influence. Further, he mentioned that Ones is on a cusp of selecting a new Minister of Finance, pending the departure of Dr. Nigel Clark for International Monetary Fund at the end of October. The feed falls under the Ministry of Finance, and the Chief Technical Director is appointed by the Finance Minister. The feed right now does not have a permanent Chief Technical Director. The head of the feed is Selvin Hay, who retired a couple of months ago. So it only have an acting head. Donald Trump shit this, you know. So there is not even any security of tenure for who is there, said Bunting. How are the cloth going here? All of these offices are reduced to file cabinet. None of these offices now work for the people. Me tell you already, 19 offices can own a one building. The man that choke the country to death. Choke out the office of work for the people. They're choking out the offices with work for the people. They might get choked out. Sometimes I piss at the PNP for now come out and fight more for the people, you know. The PNP weak though, you know. Yeah, man, the PNP weak, no rotted, man. The PNP weak, and we are the opposition on social media, not the PNP. The PNP weak. And now what country this can happen? The PNP don't come look on them and think what we are talking about, you know. You know about them, you know. Then they come make nice like a beast pan. None of start look one time and that's it. The PNP is comfortable with the EOJ in the man office. The ECJ, Electoral Commission office in the man office. The PNP have a way out. We expect that he or she will be carefully selected, but I think the public is right to be concerned. I think any well-thinking person would be concerned. You cannot investigate yourself. You cannot oversee those who are investigating you. It's just a basic principle, he added. So Andrew Ones is over all of this thing. All of this thing he take and put in their office. They are understaffed. They is choking them to death. People may say this many times on my platform, you know. The man is choking Jamaica to death. He never take them office in them office to make them better. He take them to neuter them, to choke them to death. There's no way you can function from one room. They are understaffed. They gotta be. How many times I come on this platform and I say, maybe these offices are reduced to just a file cabinet. Where the staff at? And I think they feed It's understaffed. There's nobody at the helm. So Andrew only call on the shots then. If there's nobody can fit under him, so him cut off the head. Him cut off the head of Fid, or did not appoint nobody else. So him could stay as the point man over there. Nobody move, nobody get hurt. The IC is referring the report on honest income and assets to the Fed. Said there can be no finality in the certification of statutory declarations for 2019 to 2022 without further probe. Director of Investigation at the Commission, Kevin Stevenson, made the referral to the Fed over concerns about funding and operations of companies linked to the Prime Minister. The report lists Positive Media, Imperium, Bridge, Estate Bridge, and Green Emerald as companies with which Honest is associated, while the man not happy, you know. Not now, the boy, more than fat man pocket. The findings of the DI's investigation raised significant questions around the income generating capacity of the reference companies related to the funds, which have been identified in their accounts, the report said. People, it's in the Gleaner. You guys can go read all of it. It is a disgrace and it's disgusting. One of the things we hear Bunting say in the online, People's Parliament online, I hear him say that something about this Positive Media. Say Andrew have some old equipment, and all of a sudden you say it value almost $1 million. People, what are going boy? Eh? The church does not come out, people. Finally, where is PSOJ? Stand up for the country and stop aligning yourself being a crooked man. Because this is not going to work because we are out here and we're not going to stop. We're going to show you all up. We're going to show you up. We're going to show you up. We're not stop. All of you in the dirty bus have no integrity. None. Zero. Even our foreign affairs minister will come up and come smiling at people with integrity and people with class. Face. You don't represent me up here. You are an embarrassment, foreign affairs minister. There are a lot of people over here, politicians and people you meet daily on our behalf. Our people have class, integrity. Yeah? There are people have good character. There are people not going to do what they do, what your boss do. But look what you do. You align yourself. You put yourself behind corruption. But you want to come and foreign, come represent who? You want to come and foreign, come represent who, mama? You do not represent I. This is embarrassing. You don't represent Carlos. You don't. From you see this happening, you know. I nothing called for any name before, you know. And you know, me never say that. Me still make you go and do your thing, mama. Yeah, me show you respect, you go and do your thing. But now you, I fly overseas all about to Jamaica and there. When we fly upon Jamaica, we stop hugging up corrupt politician, ma'am. So you, I come and foreign can represent we must have believed we are side with crooked politician. With a Labour and PNP, we don't want them no more, and we don't want a criminal sympathizer represent us in the diaspora. Simple. Tell me what you think about that, people. It's a sad day in Jamaica. So it's a good day for justice. Even though we try and fight it, we are on a ras. We are on. We are on. In Abuja Vice. We are on a BC. Jamaica people, this should not allow to happen. Stand up for the Integrity Commission and DI. These institutions are for the people. They are not a politician, you know. Because when they come to the report on PNP and Labour, everybody mad. These institutions are not for politicians. As you can see when they came out on Vaz and Bunting, the PNP was mad. Now that they come out the Labour right report, the Labour right mad. The Integrity Commission is not supposed to make politicians smile. That's not their job. It's to make us smile. It's to make us smile. Report crooks in office who want to get rid of. Get rid of them right away. I want to understand myself, people. When doing Vaz get his report read on him, nobody questioned the Integrity Commission back then, though. Even though the PNP mad as hell about it. And then we see the Labour get for them time. And the Integrity Commission slap them. I'm seeing them. Now they want to do what? Now it seems as if they want to take the life of these people. Now, may I say one thing before we leave this platform. Mr. Prime Minister, the fish right from the head, you call the shots. The first attack I saw on the Integrity Commission, we have the files and I made a video upon it already. And you start it. Then it looks somebody come out and cry creep for them after they get shot. When they came back from the Bahamas and the first report on you, while he was at the Ministry of Education and your Western construction, corruption, and your business and all them thing there. When that report come out, remember, when the Labor they go meet you at the Labor headquarters when they come from the Bahamas or the CARICOM meeting there, right? You tell me say the Integrity Act, Commission Act need to be looked at. The same thing like you're doing right now. The first report is like a threaten the act to do something to it. The second report is the same thing. You understand me? So your attack back then, Mr. Prime Minister, I was following it. I think that triggered some attack from Warmington and this brother out of this corrupt brother from out of St. Thomas. So the brother name again, man. Even Warmington come out and a lot of the labor them come out and beat the Integrity Commission in the public. They never stop and tap till one of them and almost lose his life, Mr. Honest. What you guys are doing is making these people job space a hostile environment. It's like a hog pen them are working. I mean, I have to ask. These people have to beef up. We know them have to get extra security because, Mr. Honest, the last time you come out, remember, say the people have get shot. This time you come out again. You go in a parliament this time and you blast them. You see, Colonel Charles going up, you talk about a member of parliament. You talk about politicians sit down in a parliament and blast the arm of the government to hold them accountable. You think about it. Corrupt politician in a parliament, not on the roadside or on them page, in the parliament where poor people are paying them salary, keep the lights on in that place and keep it clean. Them don't know what they are doing to people. That the man them sit down in a parliament. Claims they want to investigate investigators. Tell me if I know some Trump like crap. Tell me if I know something Trump would do Andrew Honest try to pull off. Want to investigate investigators. People without integrity want to investigate the Integrity Commission. But I want you guys to bring it on because we're going to feature it live. You guys are going to be embarrassed. Me the son of a Rasta man, me not other man, but we can see it. That day when that come, I want the Integrity coming and we could have it. Commission coming to Parliament and we could have it. Can I go like say on the United States Senate now? Why would you call the hotel owners them in Jamaica will rob these people unemployment benefit in a big C? Why do you call the companies them in a parliament on behalf of the people them? But you call these people on behalf of yourself? It's so self-centered and self-serving you guys are. Why do you call these companies on behalf of the people of Jamaica who them take them unemployment benefit? Them collect from them and keep them also trust benefit. Fridays, every Friday these people are working, even at the hotel industry. All the deduction from them salary people. And when Big C come in and find out say there was no money nowhere. No man not going to the unemployment benefit nowhere. No man not going to also trust nowhere. None of these politicians ever use this anger and its energy to call these hoteliers in a parliament and make them have it. Eh? Set a precedence on behalf of the people. But look what you guys doing. You want to call them investigators on your guys' behalf. Let me tell you something, man. You know, some don't know people. Them don't know, you know. They don't know what I hit them, man. Them don't know so the time of openness and revelation. They don't know people. Them don't know. Pan this bus are nothing but a bunch of fool. Them not used to accountability. Them not used to nobody check them. So you see that Jamaica, if you look with politician corruption, you can't pick them off a road and road banking. 1-1. Me say if you go to Jamaica and go look with politician corruption, you can find a roadside 1-1. You know why? They are not used to being held accountable. So why hide the corruption? So therefore, Jamaican politicians put on corruption anywhere and everywhere. All the roadside they can go pick you up. I think I joke me. Politicians in Jamaica are not hard to investigate. I want to catch one because them licky and traitorous like that, you know. They will snitch on each other. Once you catch one, the whole domino tumble down. Me, I tell you that. If the Fed should grab one of them, yeah, everybody gone down. It's like pulling the thread. And the whole thing does unravel. Thank you guys for watching this video. Yeah? These boy in a panny bus, yeah, are dirty. None of them not clean. Including the foreign affairs minister. A fly about, yeah. Me don't say everybody up here are God and them are Jesus, but there's a lot of people who come meet with integrity, high class people. When I think about hanging around, nobody like she, who's a sympathizer of Rangdoa. And she is the one who had, my God. She have a representative in a diaspora. Something wrong with Jamaica to backside. People, them can't get away from it. Coming out to say, them have talk all type of stuff, they liberate them. But look at, they cannot explain going 4 years now. The Prime Minister statutory declaration cannot be certified. It is going 4 years now. We put 3 behind we. Because 3 done now. Or 4 we are go for now. And the man's statutory declaration cannot be certified. And you have Jamaicans out there who's okay with it. Then even come on your social media, come say, if Prime Minister rob you. Remember I tell you about that comments? Me see it again. Me saw it on other bloggers page and some other article. And that me see. Jamaican say, if you him a rob from. Labor writer ask me, if you him a rob from people. Come here. Don't labor right. No understand what a clock a strike. Don't know what day today sun a shine or rain a fall. Don't labor right from social media ask if you him a rob from. Labor writer ask if you the Prime Minister rob from. I couldn't. No, stuff like that, me can't answer to you. No, sir. Me gonna waste my answer. Better go use my answer to talk to other people because you're a real dummy. People, thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Jamaican Carlos. If you like my work on the first time on the platform, go ahead and subscribe and follow me because serious video me over here, you know. On this page, me beat Mark Golden and Andrew Owens from my country. No man, no partial boy. Nobody now slide. You see me? Poor people don't stop ball for bag of flour and care package and so look a handout here and there. Allah no want, brother. Because the government have 1,940 acres of land given to those type of people, them give tax break and duty import, sorry. So they will take everything when them should give to the people, the land, tax break, duty-free imports, and give to some other people. Looking at it, the forefathers bleed for them land there. Wake up. Thank you, guys. I'm out.
This is actually one of the more disturbing features because what the investigation of the Integrity Commission has revealed is that funds were used from a charity. It's called Positive Foundation, Positive Jamaica Foundation, a charity which, you know, by definition would have charitable purposes. And some funds in the region of approximately $32,000 US dollars were diverted to pay for a bond in the name of Mr. Honus.
Or his company, his personal company.
And I believe at some point it may have been either in his or his personal holding company, which he owns 100%. And it remained in that form for the life of the bond until it was called. And it was only after the bond had been redeemed and that transaction was now, in a sense, extinct.
Is it reasonable?
Closed. That, just allow me to finish, that upon questioning by the Director of Investigation that an attempt was made to repay that charitable foundation. So approximately 4 years had elapsed when the funds from the charitable foundation had been used to partially pay for a bond in the name of or for the benefit of Mr. Honest.
And the interest payments on the bond went into him or his personal company's account. And it's only when the Integrity Commission itself looked into this thing and said, hey, but some of the funding for this, 32,000 US of the 94,000 US cost of the bond, came from a charity with which Mr. Honest is very closely associated and is a director. That the necessary rearrangements of the thing were done and the money was returned to the charity. So for several years, he declared that bond as being his or his company's, and he received the payments under that bond.
So there are two separate investigations that emanated from the Prime Minister's statutory declarations. I want you to discuss that first and tell us what were those two separate investigations. One relates to the omission of information for which the Director of Corruption Prosecution ruled, and then the second investigation was around illicit enrichment.
Well, I would say on the four accounts, there were two related to his parents put his name on, one with a former constituency manager and another one. Now, it is important to look at the detail. The Director of Investigation said he brought to Mr. Holness's attention on 3 occasions that his name was in fact on the accounts. And in spite of that, Mr. Holness did not declare those as part of his declaration. Secondly, and even more importantly, the Director of Investigation found that in 2 of those accounts, monies were flowing through the accounts from accounts solely controlled by Mr. Holness and 2 accounts solely controlled by Mr. Holness. So in essence, he's saying Mr. Holness said he knew nothing about these accounts, but funds are flowing in the region of millions of dollars. Deposits put in today, taken out the following week. 2 accounts controlled solely by him. So the question is, was Mr. Holness being truthful when he said, well, it's my parents' account and I don't know anything about it?
We don't feel comfortable sitting in Parliament with a Minister of Government who has openly accepted responsibility, who expresses no regret for the act, where a Commission of Parliament has confirmed that the act is corrupt and has referred it for prosecution, and that Minister shows no sign of wanting to resign, or the Prime Minister showing no signs of moving to dismiss the Minister.
With all the sympathy that one can have for support, this is embarrassing, not only to the government as a party, not only the PNP, but to the government, to Jamaica, to all of us. Our heads bow this morning with this sort of reaction to it.
So we have to take firm actions in this regard. It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agree that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government.
I don't want you to come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a Prime Minister, and as a Prime Minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want Labour rights carry that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.
So there is no tracking of people. There is no curtailing of people saying anything that is negative. That is absolutely not the case.
The person was tracked and their identity discovered.
Anyone can say anything, and it is amplified around the country and around the world. And it is important that as we protect the rights of our people and protect the right to freedom of expression and speech, that at the same time it is grounded in truth.
Has been put on hold, at least for now, until a meeting is convened with the government and the Sugar Corporation of Jamaica, SCJ, to work out the way forward.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who visited the community today, told the residents that the area will be developed in an orderly way and they will not be left out. Kirk Wright has this primetime news follow-up.
The residents eagerly awaited the arrival of the Prime Minister to hear the government's next move after demolishing their structures. Immediately after he arrived, he convened a meeting where he made this announcement.
This community and this area is about to experience a change, a transformation. We have put in place a master plan that is going to bring 15,000 houses into this area. Not for rich people.
And with that, the Prime Minister declared the options available.
You will have options to acquire the land itself. You will have options to acquire a starter unit. And you will have options to acquire a full unit. Presently, we were modeling our target prices as to the prices that we have been giving in Catherine Estates, which is just across here. And those units are about $6.5 average $1 million.
Good news, but the price point sparked questions of doubt about affordability. The Prime Minister assured there was no need to worry as persons will be able to obtain mortgages.
So you will be able to buy your house and pay over time. The same way you're doing it now in incrementally building out. But when you go this route, you get your full house in a community.
Some say they weren't convinced of the Prime Minister's plan.
You know, don't you know that he's lying, right? Because me know a lie I tell, right? And in the first instance, him should have found out all of them something before him demolish the building them, right? And then he come back with him foolish now. Remember, you know, him say, we are criminal, you know. Me hear in person and then him I go tell you right there, say, him did not say it, and me have to come up and say it. Yes, him say it.
The Prime Minister told the people that it appeared they were scammed because the government has no record of them paying for lands in the area.
Now we need to know who did you pay. We want to be able to assist. But if we are going to assist, we need to have clean hands coming to the table.
These were the words of Prime Minister Andrew Holness in Parliament on Wednesday afternoon regarding the illegally captured lands in Bernard Lodge. True to his word, today police officials are demolishing the structures that were erected on these lands. The operation, which began after 6 a.m. on Thursday morning, saw unoccupied and unfinished houses being demolished by large machinery.
The operation began shortly after 6 o'clock, maybe about 6:30 or thereabout. Varying forms of manual and machine labor engaged in the process, being very careful and respectful of people's personal space, etc.
Subsequently, blockades were erected to cordon off the affected area, forcing scores of motorists to turn back and take alternate routes. One inconsolable victim of the demolition said she now has no clue what her next steps will be, as she spent her last $800,000 on the lot she was building on.
And they turn up the receipt give me. They send the receipt give me. Nobody not give me no look one, no look no give me. No, I thought me just a pass and so I just told us to my lead on the plane. Me just have to work for work. I see that work for work. I change it and me car work in a man time come in a happy come here see if it belongs just such. I don't know what to do.
JCF communications strategist Dennis Brooks said though the operation is being undertaken by the Sugar Company of Jamaica Holdings, the police alongside the Jamaica Defence Force were present to keep the peace.
It's an operation that is being conducted by the Sugar Company of Jamaica. We as law enforcement are merely here based on our assessment of the space, our assessment of the situation. We're here just to provide the security necessary for the workmen to do their operation.
Yeah, man, come back and woman Andrew Wallace place for real, man. Come back and man and parents, brother. Cause watch out. You feel like Andrew Wallace poor people in family? You know, want to see a man go live in family also. Right now, in Andrew Wallace right now, family where we need a house just like how we need a house now. Eh? Come back and prison, we go live and make soldiers and police run with them. The soldiers and police, them are running my young boy for we. Then them happy catch me. Me a whole man. Me can run for soldier and police right now, especially soldier. Eh? Andrew Wallace, you know? Come back.
A mother living in a rent house that rent raise every 3 months. I am very uncomfortable. Building an 8-bedroom here for my kids. And before you even come and say something, they even say that we were issued with a warning. Was a lie. That was a lie, and it was written from the person. That is also a lie. No, and they didn't find out how we got the lie. It wasn't captured by me. I paid for my lie.
Okay.
I paid 3 times because I couldn't afford it 1 time.
Oh, you made down payment, installments. Okay.
I got my receipt.
When we examined the situation, we only acted when we were certain that certain steps were taken. So we had the evidence of the posting of stop orders. I will. So no, you.
That's a lie, yo.
Please.
I'm going to respond to her.
Please, allow this question to be answered.
Right.
Please.
I'm going to respond to her.
Please, allow this question to be answered.
Right. So that's one. Then number 2, the land that you claim to purchase. Right? The government would want to know.
The parish of St. Thomas has had mixed fortunes in recent years for agriculture. In January of this year, the government announced $200 million to assist sugarcane farmers in St. Thomas, who have been negatively affected by the closure of the Golden Grove Sugar Factory. However, some small farmers who now occupy farmer sugar lands are complaining about eviction notices.
So we're there a long time.
Because before it came out of production,
and since cane show up, we have the land. We have them half before Eastern shutdown because we plant canal. When birthday here and I run the place, so we plant canal, don't light no fire and it we use. Till cane, we still a work a plant canal. And then we farm from and then we eat from, then we send we picnic at school out there. So we need to get some more type big food.
We need to get the land to work. Establish yourself, spread the weed. I don't want it to say.
If we have to pay, we're willing to pay, we lease, but you can't come and just throw we out up if just the big man come, we come put cow. Then we are going to survive around here, nothing around here. Cow alone can't help, we cow enough for we. When we have a for we, let something for we. It is not fair. We need justice.
True.
In response, the SCJ head, Joseph Shakir, toured sections of the Eastern Parish. He was accompanied by members of the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, as well as a Member of Parliament, Dr. Fenton Ferguson.
How we can accommodate them in the plans for the development of the former sugar lands in Eastern St. Thomas. I represent Minister Shaw and his ministry on this mission. SCJ Holdings Limited is the landowner on behalf of the government. And at the invitation of Dr. Ferguson, I came out to have a first-hand look at the state of affairs on the land. Now, it is clear to me that there is active and good farming taking place, albeit scattered. There has to be some rationalization down the road. Suffice it to say that the government has no intention of disrupting farmers who are engaged in productive activities. But we have to find a way where farmers can remain where they are, cultivating and using land productively, and still be able to accommodate larger investors who can provide employment to residents of the area.
In Bernard Lodge, St. Catherine, as farmers continue their cry for justice. On this occasion, these boulders have been placed along a main road leading towards arable land. It's an indication that farmers who have tended to their land for more than 3 decades in some cases are no longer welcomed here. It's been more than 3 years since the government announced the Greater Bernard Lodge Development Master Plan, a long-term plan to accommodate future population growth in the Kingston metropolitan region and create a sustainable integrated township. But for farmers in Bernard Lodge, St. Catherine, that's when their worst nightmare started.
This is an ongoing battle between SCJ Holding and whoever that lease or sold the property to. I have a 25-year lease that has not expired, and the property was put up for sale or to be released to somebody. My lease gave me permission to free access to my farm.
In the pursuit of justice, one farmer has secured this tractor behind me to clear the roadway to his farm so that he can continue with his livelihood. But it's not the first time these farmers have been barred from accessing their farmlands. The farmers explained to me that at least on one occasion before, this gate was barred, denying entry.
I came here, and as you look, you can see that barrier was installed, locked, no key, was nobody communicate with you. And this morning I come to go to my farm, as you can clearly see the amount of boulders, and it is not something that you can carry on a handcart. Security guards are over there. No vehicle could have come here without it being seen. And it is disrespectful, and without farmers, there will be no food, and the government need to look at the thing.
After a fierce battle for land in 2019, SCJ Holdings Limited, the government's land management company, decided to create a new agricultural subdivision of 1,330 acres located to the south of the development to appease the farmers. The farmers were told they will be relocated to that location where they will be allowed to continue their farming practices. However, not all the farmers agreed to the relocation. Farmers like Michael Blake says he has been fighting the eviction in court and will continue to do so.
One rich man can't have the right over our next man. You can't lease me a property for 25 years and then you go and sell it without compensating me, or you go and release it without compensating me. And look at the road there. You can see the road that they use dirt and block off the road completely. Several times you go on your farm and your irrigation pipes cut up. And this is what is happening, and we have had enough. So I'm calling on the government to ensure that justice is done. And whatever I do will be done within the confines of the law.
He says he has already reached out to his attorney regarding the latest contractual breach.
My attorney will address this. Mr. Bert Samuels has represented me. I spoke to him this morning, and all the necessary action will be taken for the breach that has been committed. To remove the boulder, it costs you $35,000. You cannot rent a front end for less than that. It's $35,000 just to get a tractor to come here to reclear.
This is actually one of the more disturbing features, because what the investigation of the Integrity Commission has revealed is that funds were used from a charity. It's called Positive Foundation, Positive Jamaica Foundation, a charity which, by definition, would have charitable purposes. And some funds in the region of approximately $32,000 US were diverted to pay for a bond in the name of Mr. Holness.
Or his company, his personal company.
And I believe at some point it may have been either in his or his personal holding company, which he owns 100%. And it remained in that form for the life of the bond until it was called. And it was only after the bond had been redeemed and that transaction was now, in a sense, extinct.
Is it reasonable?
Closed. That, just allow me to finish, that upon questioning by the Director of Investigation that an attempt was made to repay that charitable foundation. So approximately 4 years had elapsed when the funds from the charitable foundation had been used to partially pay for a bond in the name of or for the benefit of Mr. Holness.
And the interest payments on the bond went into him or his personal company's account. And it's only when the Integrity Commission itself looked into this thing and said, hey, but some of the funding for this, $32,000 US of the $94,000 US cost of the bond, came from a charity with which Mr. Holness is very closely associated and is a director. That the necessary rearrangements of the thing were done and the money was returned to the charity. So for several years, he declared that bond as being his or his company's, and he received the payments under that bond.
Has been put on hold, at least for now, until a meeting is confirmed.
So there are two separate investigations that emanated from the Prime Minister's statutory declarations. I want you to discuss that first and tell us what were those two separate investigations. One relates to the omission of information for which the Director of Corruption Prosecution ruled, and then the second investigation was around illicit enrichment.
Well, I would say on the 4 accounts, there were 2 related to his parents put his name on, one with a former constituency manager and another one. Now, it is important to look at the detail. The Director of Investigation said he brought to Mr. Holness's attention on 3 occasions that his name was in fact on the accounts. And in spite of that, Mr. Holness did not declare those as part of his declaration. Secondly, and even more importantly, the Director of Investigation found that in 2 of those accounts, monies were flowing through the accounts from accounts solely controlled by Mr. Holness and 2 accounts solely controlled by Mr. Holness. So in essence, he's saying Mr. Holness said he knew nothing about these accounts, but funds are flowing in the region of millions of dollars. Deposits put in today, taken out the following week. 2 accounts controlled solely by him. So the question is, was Mr. Holness being truthful when he said, well, it's my parents' account and I don't know anything about it?
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits, only temporarily, those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government officials. How many wonderful development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil? When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter. It's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals from everyone in society.